Oh, okay, family, we ready to go, all right?
Let's roll.
We got some very exciting information. We have been focusing so far on the subject, the star people and star knowledge, which the Hopi Indians uh, prophesied would return at the end of this current cycle of time. And they also designated that this fire clan would return at this particular time. And we've been putting much focus on that aspect and identifying ourselves not only as the star people and the fire clan, but those who are in possession of what is called star knowledge. And this class is going to be an expansion on that. It is critical, family, that we begin to comprehend ourselves less from a human standpoint and more from a divine standpoint. Because if we define ourselves as anything but divine, anything but divinity, anything but the creator, it is going to be very difficult to make further connection with this information. Now, see, we going into the cosmos.
Let's go. Let's go.
We heading into the cosmos. We cannot idle and sit in neutral any longer.
Truly time to ascend, huh?
Absolutely. Our great ancestor, Ankh Khonsu, recently introduced himself to us. And right before class began, I was planning on the class going another direction, or not another direction, but emphasizing on something else. But right before class began, I was given this revelation and presented with this knowledge. And it is critical, it's urgent that we present this at this time. And it's going to tie in perfectly, seamlessly with everything that we've been uh, that we've been learning thus far. So when we talk about this star people and star knowledge returning at the end of this current time cycle, because we are right at the end, and also the fire clan, we took a close look at exactly how our inheritance, how we would fight for our inheritance. And this thing is already set up. We took a look at spontaneous combustion and what is called the wick effect, right? We all remember, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we tied the wick effect biologically and scientifically to what we've always understood to be the wicked, or the wicked. They already set up for destruction. The Bible says that they have been prepared for this day. Is everyone with me?
Mm-hmm.
So, when we talked about this fire clan, we tied this into the scripture and referenced an event within the narrative that in the Numbers, the 21st chapter, 8th and 9th verse, where it talked about the fiery serpent. And we took a look at that term, specifically the word saraf, and tied it into etymologically to this term fire clan that is used by the Hopi Indians. And we said that this word saraf referred to burning, setting on fire, burning up, and kindling to the uttermost. And also, Nasi, we tied it into the copper-colored indigenous people of the Americas.
Right.
All right. This is all very, very important.
Serpent of brass.
The serpent of brass. Now, family, if you will recall, there were two incidents that were in the wilderness. There were actually several. Now, see, the manna from heaven being one, right?
Right, manna from heaven, right?
We've already talked about that in reference to the 8th day Shabbat and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The other incident it's on view right now. The serpents, poisonous serpents, y'all sending the poisonous serpents throughout the company of the children of Israel, biting some people, and then erecting what's called this saraf, this fiery serpent, this serpent of brass in the wilderness to do what? Heal the people. But don't y'all understand that that was an image? It was what is called a molten image.
Right.
The other incident of the molten image, family, is when Moses went up to the mountaintop to get the 10 Commandments and comes down, and the children have done what? Taken their jewelry off, melted it down, and created a molten image.
Right.
Right. One incident, Nasi, y'all instructed create this molten image, but I thought we weren't supposed to make images.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Eitai.
And so he was all right with that, but when Moses comes down, him and Moses are angry. So we have this dichotomy. We have this paradox, this duality. But only from a divine aspect can we what? Reconcile all paradoxes and create one thing, miraculously create one thing out of two or more things. You all with me?
Follow you.
So we have these two separate incidents. One of the fiery serpent, or the serpent of brass, the other of this golden calf or golden bull. So this golden bull is represented by the term Serapis because it is a combination, family, of the word User or Osiris and Apis. Osiris represents the fiery serpent, as well as his son, Heru. And we showed Heru is another word for hero. We get the word hero from it. And we showed, family, how the serpent is not the devil. On the contrary, even in the biblical story, he is the hero. So, Serapis is a Greco-Roman Egyptian god. Listen, the cult of Serapis was introduced during the 3rd century BC on the orders of Ptolemy the First of Egypt as a means of what? To unify. Are you understanding? The serpent and the bull. Greeks and Egyptians in his realm. The god was depicted as Greek in appearance. Listen, please listen carefully. Greek in appearance, but with Egyptian trappings. This is the only way we're going to syncretize this. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm attempting to do, to bring the old and from the past and connect it contemporarily. Are you all with me?
Mm-hmm.
And combined iconography from a great many cults, signifying what? Both abundance and resurrection. Both abundance and resurrection. This is code for how we are going to receive back our inheritance.
So Eitai, I'm not trying to jump the gun, but I'm asking the question, and you can respond however, this time or later. The abundance cannot be separated from the resurrection. So the resurrection have to take place in order for the abundance to manifest itself.
That's absolutely correct. And the only way that you can't do this dualistically.
Absolutely, right.
You have to what? Syncretize and unify.
There we go.
Yourself, within yourself, within yourself. The dualism, you have to solve it within yourself.
There you go.
That is job one. A serapium, Greek serapion, was the temple. That's your body, or religious precinct devoted to Serapis. So Serapis doesn't represent no god like that. It represents, it's symbolic for the unification of two or more apparently different and diverse things. The cults of Serapis were spread as a matter of deliberate policy by the Ptolemaic kings, who also built an immense serapeum in Alexandria. So these weren't family places of worship like that. They were intended to represent the absolute need and essentiality of holism, of singularity, and oneness of thought and action and perception. Are we all together on this? We're not talking about no gods or goddesses like that. We must keep this in the forefront of our mind. A serapeum is a temple or other religious institution dedicated to what? the syncretic Greco-Egyptian deity Serapis. So it represents syncretism, bringing together of two apparently opposed things. In this case, symbolically, the serpent and what? The bull.
Yeah.
Combined aspects of Osiris and Apis, what? In humanized form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, weren't they telling us? They were
Yeah.
showing us.
Yeah.
They were showing us through their history. And now see,
Wow.
remember, Ankh after Khonsu in the 25th, 26th century, the people were divided.
Right.
And he was attempting to do what? Introduce something that was primal to what? Bring them together and unify them under one
Right.
thought. Genesis 11,
Right.
family.
Right.
This is the whole goal.
Yeah.
So these representations were attempted, Osiris and Apis, attempting to show us the essentiality of syncretism, of wholeness, of oneness, of unity. There were several such religious centers, each of which was a serapion, or in its Latinized form that we already said it, serapion. All right?
Mm.
And
Right.
we showed how the scriptures put the fiery serpent or the serpent of brass in human form. In the last book of the Bible, Revelation 14, 1 through 4. And family, I want to introduce a term to you. Son of man. Son of man. Now I want you to write it down, SUN/SON of man. Now see, this is a great revelation.
Yeah, I see it. I already see it.
So look, the scriptures, and we're going to get to it, they say, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up as well. You all remember this?
Yeah, Eitai. That's one of the main things that's being talked about right here at Jerusalem right now about this is called doing this what they call the Omer, must lift up, the Savior. That's how they refer to it.
Now, see, this is why the urgency. This is why
Yeah.
the spirit of Ankh Khonsu interrupted what I wanted to bring, because we won't be on tomorrow, right?
Right.
So this lifting up, see, this lifting up is always external.
Right. Right. Right.
Always external, looking for either Jesus Christ or the
Yeah. Right.
Messiah, or no. Now, see, we must lift ourselves up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is what this is about, family. It's urgent that we get this right now. So, the serpent of brass and the fiery serpent, they brought it forward for us in the description of, the Christ character, the Mashiach, or however you want to call it. His head and his hair were like fine wool, as white as snow, his eyes a flame of fire, indicating, family, some energy, an energetic quality. Now, see, that's what?
Yeah.
Been activated.
Right.
On the inside, his feet were like unto fine brass, uh, uh, referencing the brass serpent as if they were burned in a furnace, connecting it with the fiery serpent. Are you all with me?
Yes. Yeah.
His
Right.
voice was the sound of many waters. We'll come break that down later. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance was like the sun, shineth, was as the sun, rather, shineth in his strength. So we talked about the 7 stars. We're going to get back, I promise you, to this star reference, because all of this is connected to what? The star people, star knowledge, and the fire clan. Walk with me. So we went through and we connected this thing up through history, even connected it to the internal glands, specifically the pineal gland, DMT, melanin, and they said mythological beings. Well, we connected that up the other day. And again, this is going to be an expansion on that. Because, family, we must understand the science of this. This is something that is not just going to happen by some unseen power. Where attention goes, energy flows. So what is being presented before you and put on view before you is information that will allow you to more perfectly and powerfully focus your attention on something, Nasi, that is not abstract.
Yeah. There you go.
That you can have a perfect image in your mind. This is how you're going to connect to the power, this cosmic power that is in you already. But if we are trying to imagine some type of heroic, messianic figure other than ourselves, we're going to fail.
That's crystal clear.
Because we're going to continue to do what we've always done, and that is shoot energy aimlessly out into the universe at nothing. And thus dissipating our own energetic power and our own energetic strength and current and currency. So we went on, family, and connected this. I'm talking about directly to melanated people. All right.
Gotcha.
And we talked about these 4-armed human creatures, right?
Yes.
That were both male and female with 1 head but 3 eyes. And we connected it to the character Popeye. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And notice on his forearms, he has the symbol of unity, syncretism, wholeness, male and female. Y'all with me?
Yes.
The scriptures ask, listen, don't sleep on this. To whom has the arm of the Lord been
That's what it
revealed?
said. That's right.
And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed?
Right. Right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
It sounds like a joke. I got a Popeye dial up here, but this ain't gonna come through no logic. through good reasoning and rationale. This information is not within that field, that thought field. It is in the cosmic thought field.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Come on now. So this term Seraph, we carried it forward, and we connected to what? The copper-colored individuals, so-called races in the Americas, in the West. Now, I wanted to expand on this a little bit more, Nasi, but our ancestors had other plans. I wanted to get into scientific racism and the creation of reverse racism, right?
Uh-huh.
And further get into this this crossbreeding, how they crossbred us to create a multiplicity of diverse phenotypes within our community. Then they demonized and emphasized and exploited those differences. And how
That's what you wanted to get into.
that's right, and how we do the same things. Nah. They had different plans. So we pick it up here, family, and we getting ready to hit the gas and shoot into the cosmos. I promise you.
Let's go for it.
So this unifying Serapis represents this unifying principle of Osiris or Heru and Apis, right? The scripture tells us, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so the Son of Man be lifted up. I'm sorry, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. And see, this is the Christian aspect of it. But like Nasi said, that the Omer, and we're going to get into this and we're going to really dissect that this corresponds to the Moad of the lifting up of the Omer, right?
Yeah.
So let's go quickly to see, this is John 3 and 14. Every one of us should be aware of John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life, right?
Right.
And we say, hey, yeah, that's the Christians thing. And they be at football games with those banners, John 3:16, all that type of thing, sporting events. All right? But I want us at a later date to read John 3 in context from verses 12 to verse 15. Mark it down if you're taking notes. Because
12 through 15.
John 3, 12 through 15 is going to give you John 3 and 14 in context. But we don't want to get distracted. We want to continue on and connect these two events of the brass serpent and the gold cow in the wilderness together. Very important, because this is going to reveal who and what the Son of Man is, what that term is. And correspondingly, it's going to further show you exactly who and what you are. This is what this is all about. So we see the representations here of the lifting up of the serpent. And you all know that this symbol is the symbol, it's the caduceus It's the symbol that the AMA, American Medical Association, uses.
Yes, it is.
We see our symbol, we see their symbols, we see their signs, we don't see ours. Because we have disassociated ourselves from those things. Now, see, it's been what? Abstracted.
There you go.
Meaning moved away from its original meaning and appropriated and misappropriated. We know that Serapis was the god of the lower world, or the god of the underworld, or the underworld in Egypt is Amenti, or the West. It is a thought form, an original thought form, family, that sits over the West. That is what we have to activate it. We've been tying into or identifying with another thought form that is what? Within the solar system, within the simulated reality.
Yeah.
But the higher thought form is the cosmic, and we must make this transition. Look, right where we are. I don't care where you are in the world. If you were raised and you emanated into the Western hemisphere, you are captive under that thought form to one degree or another. Can't deny it. And that influence has spread all over the globe, because we cannot deny that in every corner of the world, north, south, east, and west, they have been westernized to one degree or another. That is the overwhelming and overarching thought form. So we see the representation of the calf or the bull, sacred bull Apis. In Egyptian mythology, Apis or Hapis, alternatively spelled Happy Ankh. Listen, alternatively spelled Happy Ankh.
Wow.
Ankh Afna Khonsu. Y'all gonna understand what this means, family.
Wow.
Come on, Shows.
Is a sacred bull worshipped in the Memphis region. Memphis is in Tennessee. At a later time, we are going to, you know, and that's the capital of music.
Right.
You know, for the South, we're gonna really decode these areas in the West as they relate to ancient areas. All right, Malkiel, you sent out that email designating Jerusalem where in Virginia.
Yes.
As well as Zion. So it's in the Memphis region. I was asking yesterday what the capital of Mississippi was. What I wanted to point out was the Mississippi River, not the city. The capital is Jackson, which refers to Andrew Jackson. We know the history, you know, of Andrew Jackson as it relates to our captivity. But we're going to understand further, Malkiel, these river valley cultures around the world. River valley cultures around the world, and the inception of what? Of what's called civilization. Civilization, the establishment of that ancient term, civilization. Identified as Hathor, as the son of Hathor. Listen, the son of Hathor, son of man, the son of Hathor, a primary deity in the pantheon of Egypt. Initially, he was assigned a significant role in her worship, being sacrificed and reborn. Who does that sound like?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Jesus character.
Yes.
This is repeated over and over again. Just as Apis or Hapis was sacrificed and reborn, so was Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
The father killed and then reborn as what? His own son Heru. They just repeating this thing over and over. So that what? Now see, we can reconnect the dots once we wake up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is what's happening. Later, Apis also served as an intermediary between humans and other powerful deities. But this is the aspect of the Messiah, of the priest, of the pastor. Same thing, y'all.
Right.
We haven't understood or awakened to understand who we are. So we think we need an intermediary. We think we need a leader, somebody to rise up and do what? Show us the way.
Mm-hmm.
And in
Just like the nations.
that's right. And
Mhm.
you absolutely right. That's why the kingdom, now see,
Yeah.
that wasn't something that, according to the narrative that the God of the Bible chose, that's what the people asked for. Give us
Yes.
a king like the Gentiles.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what he wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's right.
And the God of the Bible said, look, hey, Samuel, don't be like that. Give it to them. Give them exactly what they want. However, warn them what they're getting into.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And we still mentally stuck within that same paradigm to this day.
Yes.
Now, it says originally, write this name down, Ptah.
Spell it.
Write the name Ptah, P-T-A-H.
P-T-A-H.
Later, Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this, family. Then Atum or Adam. Atum.
Mm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, y'all
Uh-huh.
remember the first Adam did this. The second Adam became a life-giving spirit.
There we
Mm-hmm.
go. There we go.
These ain't
Mm-hmm.
talking about, now see, these ain't talking about no individuals that existed. It's talking about a level of consciousness where you saw the first Adam as what? A certain thing. Then you raised yourself in consciousness and I identified yourself as the second Adam that was going to do what? Resurrect you and give you life.
There
Yes.
you
Yes.
We're going through this quickly, but I'm headed somewhere, family. You'll see. So, just as we saw the biblical scene of Moses, there you go, white Moses, right there, with all y'all white relatives, lifting the
go.
lifting the serpent up in the wilderness, lifting the serpent up in the wilderness. There go white Moses again. Oh no, that's white Aaron. Now see, that's white Aaron. You know, mounted the Apis bull up. But we understand that these are not two different things. That they are the same thing, family. They are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
According to the Bible, the golden calf was an idol, a cult image made by the Israelites during Moses' absence when he went up to Mount Sinai. Now remember, Mount Sinai, the word sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
The word sin. And sin corresponds to what? It means moon in Hebrew. And remember, Ankh Khonsu, or Khonsu, was a deity of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
These are hints. I'm going to bring it all together, I promise you. In Hebrew, the incident was known as Het HaEgel, or the sin of the calf.
The sin of the calf.
Now remember, it refers to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
It is first mentioned in Exodus 32:4. Bull worship was common in many cultures. In Egypt, whence according to the Exodus narrative had recently come, the Apis bull was a comparable object of worship. Okay, now, so this is the religious concept, religious perception that we all had. This is what whether we were Christians or whether we called ourselves Hebrews or whatever. We said the reason that was wrong is because that's what they worshipped in Egypt, and they were bringing that forward into the promised land. Tell me that's not what we were taught.
Right.
Dang.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Which some believe the Hebrews were reviving in the wilderness. That's what every one of us were taught, whether it was Christian doctrine or it was Hebrew doctrine. I'm telling you, ain't no difference. And newsflash, there ain't no difference between looking for the Messiah to come and looking for Jesus Christ to return. No
Right.
difference. Among the Egyptians, the Hebrews, among the Egyptians and Hebrews neighbors in the ancient Near East, in the Aegean, the Aurochs, the wild bull was widely worshipped often as the lunar bull, that's sin,
Mm-hmm.
and as the creature of El.
Wow.
Mm.
No difference, no difference. Now see, you went into this etymology of the word wild bull, wild ox, or antelope the other day.
Yeah. Right.
It connects that was a great catch. It connects directly to that. And we're going to go back and revisit that.
Yeah, we have to go back and revisit that now. That makes all the connections there. That ties all of this in as to where the people are and
That's
where they are
correct.
doing these things there.
That's right. That's right. Sin,
Yeah.
the Akkadian, Suin, or Sheen, or Nana, was the god of the moon. In Mesopotamian mythology of Akkad, Assyria, and Babylonia, Nana is the Sumerian deity, the son of Enlil and Ninlil, and came to be identified with Semitic sin.
Wow.
The two chief seats of Nana's or Sin's worship were Ur in the south of Mesopotamia and Haran in the north. The moon god by the same name was worshipped in pre-Islamic South Arabia. So it ain't no difference, family. Ain't no difference. I don't care what you call yourself. Same thing, same root. Now see?
Absolutely, Eitai, absolutely.
And therefore, same mind or mental conception or the same thought form. The same thought form. And he took the golden winged bull calf, which he had made, and what? Burnt in the fire. The same thing with the fiery serpent, making the connection. Ground it to a powder, strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it. Now here we go. Here's the revelation. The fire clan is the apotheosis of man. The fire clan is the apotheosis of man.
Right.
Walk with me, family.
Yeah.
Come on, Shows. Come on.
It was only after his death, however, remember we read this, that Nimrod appears to have been what? Deified. After his death. Nobody wasn't worshiping people like that. Then retrospectively, he was worshipped as what? The child of the sun, or the son incarnate, or family, the son, S-U-N, / S-O-N, of man.
Wow.
In his lifetime, however, he set up no higher pretensions than that of being a Balkan, a priest of Baal, from which the other name of the fire god Vulcan is evidently derived, abstracting it through time and through cultures, moving away from its original understanding and meaning and purpose.
Yes, yes.
They just said this man ain't never asked nobody to worship him. He just wanted to be known as a priest. Everything in the history of Vulcan exactly agrees with that of Nimrod. Vulcan was the most ugly and deformed of all gods. Nimrod, all over the world, is represented with the features and complexion of a Negro, copper colored.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Walk with me, y'all. Isaiah 52, now see.
Yeah.
He was the most ugly and deformed of all gods, as many were astonied at thee, family. Your visage was marred more than any man. Tell me that's not how Abba interpreted that. As many as were astonied or astonished at thee. His visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of man. Isn't that how Abba interpreted that? That said, we've been denigrated so much throughout history in our identification that we don't even resemble a man no more. Less than a man, a monkey.
Yes.
An animal, 3/5 of a man.
Wow.
Tell me that's not everybody on this call.
Gang Shows.
So here's what our duty is, family, to lift it up. to lift ourselves up.
Mm-hmm.
As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so the Son of Man must be lifted up. The serpent, family, represents our original historic image.
Yes, Eitai.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was later on denigrated
Yes.
in the representation of the golden bull, which, like the brass serpent, or like the serpent symbol of imagery, was never had a derogatory or demonic or devilish connotation.
Mm-hmm.
But the horns of the bull was somehow made evil. But our ancestors, when they put the bull on the bull horns on their head, that emphasized their power.
Mm-hmm.
Are you all with me?
Okay.
But it was later, family, turned into the symbol of the devil, an aspect of the devil. We showed you that.
Eitai,
Huh?
I think this is a very important point here. It's the 53rd chapter of Isaiah, and everything that you've just pointed out is laid out right here. But it's in verse 5, I think it gives you the key to exactly. If you allow me to read this and put it in
Absolutely.
context.
Absolutely, Nasi.
53rd chapter of Isaiah, starting with verse 1, he says, "Who has believed our report?" Question. To whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? And he didn't already cover that now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you say, well, he got this, this image up here, but listen carefully. For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant,
The branch.
and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form or comeliness, and when we shall see him, there's no beauty that we should desire him.
Do y'all see what's up on the screen now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hard more than any man.
He is
Right.
Nasi.
despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief.
Come on now.
And we
Mm-hmm.
hear as if were our faces from him. He was despised and we esteemed him not. Verse 4. Surely he has borne our grief
Come on now.
and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. Now, this is the verse
Our
5.
own selves, Nasi.
Now, listen to verse 5.
Come
He
on.
said, but he was wounded for our transgression, he was bruised for our iniquities, the chastisement of peace.
Our
The
wholeness.
chastisement of peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Now, what does peace mean?
Wholeness. Shalom.
Wholeness.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole purpose of everything. Everything has anybody stand for this wholeness, they would be despised by the simulated reality.
That's correct.
Yes.
I mean, this is. I mean, if this ain't a verification of what he had put together here,
Right.
I don't know how we reading this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, Eitai, I just wanted to make that connection there.
That's precisely where we were headed and where we're gonna go with this, Nasi. Very good. Everybody should be able to see this and make these connections. This is internal knowledge, family. It's
Mm-hmm.
internal knowledge that is being activated at this point.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So the Fire Clan is the apotheosis of man. So we've been denigrated before the world, demonized, satanized, downcast more than any man,
Mm-hmm.
more than the sons of
Mm-hmm.
man. But as Moses lifted up the serpent family in the wilderness, even so must you lift it up. Apotheosis, apotheosis is defined as the highest point in the development of something. And you know, we're clear on this term development, y'all, and we don't want to use that. That's
Right, Eitai.
that's
Absolutely
too
right.
close to education. We
Yes.
want to say that apotheosis is the highest point in the expression of something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, that's an action verb.
Right, right.
It means the culmination or the climax of something, the elevation, look, of someone to divine status. We know that Nimrod, see, this is why we think Nimrod is evil, because from our religious training, we said, well, Nimrod set himself up to be a god and to be worshiped. Nothing can be further from the truth.
Right.
It says it was only after his death that what happened? Only after his death that he was a deified. Are you all with me?
Okay.
Yes.
So that's from the religious perspective, that this man deified himself. No. But as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, that's what the God of the Bible instructed him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the instruction is the same for you at this time, just
Mm-hmm.
as they were in the transitional period. Now, see, in the
Yeah.
wilderness, from what?
Yeah.
Captivity to what? The promised land and freedom. They had to lift themselves up. But was it successful? No. Just like the story of Ankh of Khonsu.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses could not lead them in. But who led them in? Yehoshua,
Mm-hmm.
Joshua.
son of Nun, son of Nun.
Yep.
So apotheosis, family, means the highest expression of something. Yeshua was trying to tell the people that were in opposition to him, now see,
Mm-hmm.
that wanted to stone him for the very reasons that individuals want to stone us.
Right.
Because they're saying we as mere men, what? Make ourselves out to be God. Not comfortable with that.
Right.
But my response is parallel to the response in the narrative that Jesus had. Your own scriptures say, "Ye are gods," don't they?
Mm-hmm. All day.
Referring to Psalms 82, 6 through 8. I have said ye are gods, and all of you children, that is, sons and daughters of the Most High, meaning of the apotheosis, or highest elevation, or highest expression.
Mm-hmm.
This family ties into the fact that you weren't created, but that you emanated
Emanated. Yes.
as divinity.
Yes.
Are y'all hearing me?
King. King Jack.
But ye shall die like men
Mm-hmm.
and fall like one of the princes. That's the word sar. Play on words.
Mm-hmm.
Seraphim,
Mm-hmm.
Sarapis, arise, Kuma, arise, O
Right.
God, judge the earth,
Mm-hmm.
for thou shalt inherit all nations. That's talking about getting your inheritance back.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to do it waiting for someone to do it,
Absolutely not.
for someone else, lifting something up symbolically, and in your mind, lifting up a Messiah that is going to appear at some point in time. Now we're going to go back and read Isaiah 52 in its entirety, family. Everybody turn to that if you have it. I'm going to put it up here because this is very important. And now, see, we have not properly interpreted these things.
Absolutely not, Eitai.
When we were, according to kingdom doctrine, according to the Christian doctrine, Isaiah 52 and 53, they were talking about Jesus Christ. According to Hebraic doctrine and Islamic doctrine, they were talking about the Messiah and the Imam Mahdi. Are you all with me?
Yeah.
Same thing, different names. Expecting someone other than yourself to what? Save you,
Save you. Right. Right.
redeem you, resurrect you. No, it's knowledge and knowledge of your own self that's going to accomplish that, family.
It ain't nothing else.
Nothing else and no one else. Awake, awake. Put on your strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Has that been accomplished yet?
No.
No.
Shake thyself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck,
Slow Mamba.
O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith the Lord, ye have sold yourselves for naught. For you sold yourselves for nothing. And ye shall be redeemed without money. For thus saith the Lord God, my people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, and the Assyrian oppressed them without cause. Now, listen, it says without cause. We'll get back to that. Now, therefore, what have I here, saith the Lord, that my people is taken away for nothing? They that rule over them make them to howl, saith the Lord. And listen, my name continually every day is blasphemed. Write down the name, if you're taking notes. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore shall they know in that day that I am he that doth speak. Behold, it is I. Now, see, just went over this and asked us when we were in Ezekiel, well, who is speaking? I'm going to ask the same thing now, see?
Right.
What name is he talking about?
Right.
How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, and publisheth what? Shalom, wholeness, that bringeth good tidings of good, that publisheth salvation, and saith unto Zion, thy God reigneth. Thy watchmen shall lift up thy voice. Who are the watchmen?
Mm, mm, mm.
Our ancestors. This is why we're having this class today, and not the one that I planned to do, now see?
Yeah, I hear you.
The watchman lifted up his voice. With the voice together, with the voice together shall they sing. For they shall see what? Eye to eye.
Ah,
And the Lord shall bring again Zion. Break forth into joy. Sing together. That's harmony. Ye waste places of Jerusalem. For the Lord hath comforted his people. He hath redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord hath what? Made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all nations. Let's look at that word arm very quickly. Where did I put it at? Oh, here it is. Family. It is the word zeroah. And as we saw, it's talking about the forearm. The arm as a symbol of strength, forces, or political or military, or the shoulder of a sacrificed animal. Look, it's the root word is zara, meaning what? Seed. Talking about what? DNA, genetics, that connect you to what? Your energetic source. The Son of Man means the seed of man.
Mm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
talking about, family, a link, write it down, or a connection to your power. Is everybody with me?
Okay.
The arm is referring to a link or connection to your power. Now, I told you all to write down the word name.
right.
And when we say these things, Nasi, in the name of the Lord, in the name of this, in the name of that, we just got through reading. We just got through reading in Isaiah 52 that therefore my people shall know my name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that doth speak. Behold, it is I. Now, watch this. I'm going to show you the science of the name first. All right? Matthew, write these references down. Matthew 10 and 41. Here's the science. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward.
Mm.
Underline prophet's reward. Prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Underline the word reward or highlight it. Matthew 19:29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive how much?
Hundredfold.
A hundredfold. And, now see, shall inherit everlasting life.
Absolutely.
We said, family, that this inheritance cannot be separated. Didn't we say this, Nasi?
Yeah, you can't do it.
You cannot separate one thing for another from another.
Right.
Resurrection is directly connected to
Resurrection and redemption is direct. They're the same thing, Nasi. One is above, the other is below. One is material, the other is cosmic. One you're going to receive in the simulated reality, the other cosmically, energetically.
Yes.
But which one is first? Always the cosmic.
Cosmic. Absolutely. Yes.
It's so simple. Continuing on. Mark 9:37. Whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name receiveth who? Receiveth me, sons and daughters. Whosoever shall receive me receiveth not me, but him that sent me. This is connecting you. I'm giving y'all science of how to connect to this power. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Luke 9:48. And said unto them, whosoever shall receive this child in my name, what? Receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me shall receiveth him that sent me. Directly connecting you to the power source. For he that is least among you, the same shall be great. Now, see, this ain't got nothing to do with serving other men like that, or
absolutely not,
or subjecting yourself to anything like that. This is a deliberate action that you do with knowledge of how the cosmos works.
Yes.
And how it works through us. But if I see you, now see, as separate and external to me, I'll never do any of this.
Nope.
John 1:12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to what? Become the sons of God, even to them that believed on what? His name. John 16:24. Hitherto, family, have you asked nothing in my name. Ask and ye shall receive, that your joy may be full. The centrality of the name. Moving forward. He that hath an ear, Revelations 2 and 17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh, I will give to eat of the hidden manna. Family, we should all know what the hidden manna is. It is the cosmic energy, not solar energy, in food. And will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving him he that receiveth it. He that receive, if you receive it in my name, if you receive it in my name, if you receive it in my name. Revelation 2 and 17. Moving forward, family. Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? Again, read Luke, the 7th chapter, 20th through the 37th verse. So, apis, connected to apotheosis, the word apotheosis, which means the highest point of expression in something, the culmination, the climax, our elevation, family, to divine status. To divine status. This has to occur consciously, mentally,
Yes.
in the cosmos, before it manifests what? In the material. Apocalypse means a revelation or disclosure. To whom is the arm of the Lord been revealed? It means to uncover or take the cover off. Apo. Is that what we're doing?
Absolutely.
In the general sense, it means insight, vision, a hallucination. The meaning of a cataclysmic event is modern. In other words, now see, the event won't happen until your power to cause the event is manifested.
That's what's going to happen, right?
Apocalypticism is the belief of an imminent end of the present world, is from 1858. What occurred 7 years later, 6, 7 years later in America?
1858 and 7.
1864, 1865.
Yeah, okay, right.
Emancipation Proclamation.
Right.
They know they were preparing Nasi for the end of their present world. Moving forward, we're going to get into this in more detail, but I want to finish this out before we have to close in a few minutes, family. Ankh Khonsu, decoded. This is what he wanted me to reveal to you all. First of all, Khonsu is not the moon. He is also male and therefore defines the process of supporting the strong electric field of the star.
Wow.
This is something that is inside all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Ankh, Khonsu, our ancestor, represents something that is inside us all. This ain't spooky, family.
Mm-hmm.
His hieroglyphs describe the photosphere connection to the ether, operating the weak electric field supporting the strong coronal electric field of the star. I'm showing y'all how to connect to your power here. He was one of the companions of Thoth, meaning the electrical potential or voltage. This is your power. This is power activation.
Yes.
We ain't about deifying no person that lived.
Mm-hmm.
It's about you, the science of you, what? Transitioning to a God. And actually to more than that, a titan. He holds the scepter, defining him as a receptor of power. See, we always thought, now see, that the female was the receiver.
Right.
The female is the activator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's the power source.
And it all backwards. That's what the Western world do for you, these simulated reality.
There you go. But now see, we also, our ancestors had to flip it so that what? That we would what? Disconnect from our power.
Yeah. 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 I see it. I see
So
it.
we can thoroughly undergo this healing process.
Yeah.
He is also often shown supported by the plasma pinch hieroglyph and is similar to Ptah. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to connect all this up at a later date. This is the symbol of the Ankh. This is why he appeared to us at this particular time. The Ankh means to support life. Now see, just got through talking to us about biocentrism.
Yes.
And I've mentioned it again. I mentioned it last time and referred to it. Biocentrism means what? That which supports life.
Yeah.
The cross means life, and the loop means support.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is shown inside or through the loop is an aspect of the electric universe supporting life.
Mm.
The electric universe supporting life. So in a sense, the people that had the Ankh, it would be a big Ankh. They just didn't wear it around their neck, and they would hold it at an angle and look through the loop. Now see,
Yeah.
so whatever they saw represented what? An aspect of the electric universe supporting life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is us seeing everything as connected to our support system. That is our divine perception. The Ankh is shown below as an example. It represents Kefri supporting the stars. And we showed Atlas lifting up the starry firmament. Y'all remember?
Yeah.
And the Egyptian Atlas is Shu. And Shu was represented what? With the one feather in his head, or with
Yeah.
3 feathers in his head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Y'all remember, we getting ready to close. Look, this is simple, family. Y'all gonna make the connection right away. Describing the electric current of the cosmos supporting life. The Ankh is used throughout Egyptology to listen, to explain the fundamental purpose of the hieroglyphs, Malkiel, and the
Mhm.
pyramids,
Mhm.
support all life in the cosmos.
Eitai,
Yes, sir.
I also want the family to look at the webcam, and I'm gonna show you what the spirit of Khonsu by way of Do Kalaya created for us.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Hold on
Yeah.
1 second. Hold on 1 second. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. And there's the male and female. Hey, that's perfect. There's the male and female unifying principle right in the middle. The 2 intersecting triangles. Now, see,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
that is perfect.
That came from the mind of Do Kalaya.
That's right. Now, watch how perfect this is. Watch how perfect this is, family. That's excellent, Malkiel.
I mean, Sliga, not the mind.
I got you. Hey,
Yeah.
we
The
got. I got you, bro.
consciousness.
I got you. Right, we're clear.
Okay.
We ain't on that. The truth is, the hieroglyphs are not phonetic sounds,
Mm-hmm.
and thus were never depicted by Champollion using the Rosetta Stone. Instead, the hieroglyphs are sacred logograms
Yes.
gifted to the planet Earth by the cosmos. That is, cosmic beings, cosmic intelligence, or the cosmic consciousness of our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
GodElectric.org deciphered the hieroglyphs for positive and negative charge.
Mm-hmm.
Positive and negative. Family, Serapis, Seraph and Apis. Seraph Nasi in the scriptures was uh, depicted as something positive,
Mm-hmm.
and the bull or the golden calf was depicted as what? Something negative.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing this home, family, showing the unique characteristics, look, of the animals, plants, and
Yes.
objects familiar to the ancient Egyptian are used to present functions and natural principles of the universe beyond, that is the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
This was achieved by 2013, proving that we are not alone in the cosmos. That
Right.
our ancestors were presenting themselves, that we are not alone in the cosmos, and that a higher order
Mm-hmm.
of supreme beings have supported life here through electrical discharge. That is perceiving our ancestors as watchers and guardians over what? Thought forms, knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
GodElectric.org deciphered each hieroglyph carefully as a pictographic code rather than just a phonetic sound or letter. The website, and this is what they showed me, Nasi, right before class started. The website is largely censored by the earthly powers of greed and the cartels that run the planet, as they are guilty of iniquity in front of the cosmos and God. Those are our ancestors.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
The GodElectric.org hieroglyphs have opened the door to all who read and understand it, enabling the correlation, the syncretation of both male and female representation. Tell me that's not what we've been talking about all along.
Absolutely, shows.
Explaining how positive and negative charge, magnetism, gravity, do David, plasma, and even the pyramids function as part of the electric cosmos with God or divinity or divine consciousness. This is the science, family. This is the science.
And Eitai.
Yes.
And see, and again, you keep mentioning the pyramids. The pyramids are aligned with Orion's belt.
There you go.
That puts us in the cosmos. And that Orion belt is those three stars, which are the three eyes that we all have.
That's right. Now, I'm gonna connect.
Mark L. And that is the line with, the 7 stars or Pleiades.
Yes.
That's right. The 7 stars that he had in his hand.
Right.
That the Son of Man had in his hand. We are coming. Yeah. It's showing us, family, that we are the star people and that we possess in our hands the knowledge of the stars.
Yes.
Now,
absolutely.
Now remember, we're going back to the ostrich feather. I'm connecting all this together. A symbol of what? The Black Prince. This is our ancestors. The Nefertari headdress. All right? The symbol, the star in the head of Isis. And I'm sorry, of Ma'at. And then Shu. Are you all with me?
Come on, shows.
We broke this down.
Yes, we did.
Connected it to our wealth, our inheritance, how we bow down, how we fail. Now, see, they call this brother Sitting Bull.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe he was related to Apis in a certain way.
Yeah.
Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull. Family, we can't miss. Let's go. The ostrich feather. We back to that. Then we're going to close this out. I want everyone to please carefully consider what is going on in our midst.
Yes.
The Ankh is what? It means a supporter of life. The ostrich feather is the collector. We said that the male aspect was what? Represented the scepter, represented the reception of power. Now, you got to understand, every brother in here got a scepter.
Yeah.
That he can plug into. I'm not being vulgar. I'm just telling y'all the truth. That you can plug into the power of the universe.
Yeah.
We've had it wrong, Nasi.
Yeah, we had it wrong.
We had it wrong.
Yeah.
So here is the feather now, which is the collector. It represents, family, the energetic or cosmic aspect of the physical scepter that every male has.
Mm-hmm.
It is the scepter is the wire through which the cosmic or electric cosmic energy flows in. This is how we create, family. The
Yes.
collector. At about 600 BC, the ancient Greek philosopher Thales of Miletus became aware of electricity. In other words, our Kemetic ancestors taught him that, discovering that when amber, and we're going to talk about this amber, is rubbed and held close to a feather. First of all, before we leave, is amber a male or a female's name?
Come on, Eitai. Come on.
When amber is rubbed and held
Yes.
close to a feather, it
Mm-hmm.
pushes away the feather's electrons. The feather, not the amber, becomes
Mm-hmm.
positively charged and is what? Attracted to the amber.
Wow.
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 You wonder why we attracted to
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the feminine
Mm-hmm.
aspect.
absolutely
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Y'all see this, family? I'm
Oh man,
gonna give you
absolutely.
scriptural proof going forward now. See, that's hidden in the
Uh-huh.
scriptures. Electricity was also a familiar concept to the ancient Egyptian. Well, of course, because that's who gave it to the Greeks. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, who chose the ostrich feather when making feather dusters. Now they're gonna put it on a feather duster, but we know that they wore them in their head and on
Right.
their head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ostrich feathers are impractical for use as a fan, but make very effective dusters because of their intrinsic ability to hold an electrostatic charge. The duster works
Interesting.
because opposite charges attract. Opposite charges attract, allowing for the collection of dust particles. Now we're going to talk about symbolically what these dust particles are. Because we already know,
Yes.
Mm.
family, that black
Uh-huh.
hole, Nasi, eats a star and what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shoots a beam of
Shoot that.
electrical
Shoot that.
stardust to the earth.
Yes. Yes.
Our
Mm.
ancient ancestors knew that. So they wore
Mm-hmm.
feathers on their head.
Mm-hmm. Man.
As collectors of cosmic energy and cosmic information and cosmic knowledge.
You know, Eitai, this is you know, there's a brother here up in a rod, and he's been trying to, get us to look at some of these ancient symbols ever since he's been here with. But you know what? The nation makes fun out of him in a certain kind of way,
Wow.
and because what he wear the feathers,
Now,
and
see,
Mm.
the
I mean,
the
now it's interesting.
the
Reason I
wisdom of
mentioned,
the wise.
let me show you why it's interesting. He got all these brothers coming up in here from the states, but you know what he do? Even
What?
though we don't have no relationship with him, he comes sending what? All of them down here to the community.
Right.
We
Wow.
have absolutely no relationship with him like that.
Wow.
Now, see, in the last days, the wisdom of the wise is going
Yeah.
to do what?
Wow.
You think you wise. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to talk about all this, family.
Mm-hmm.
Eitai,
Yes, sir.
that same brother that Nasi talks about is the brother that said that the ancient Cherokee language was ancient Hebrew.
Yes, yes, sir. Hey,
Wow.
we're gonna do all this. We're gonna connect it all together. We're gonna connect it all together. In closing, very quickly, family, the symbol of a wing made of feathers, joining to a star.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that symbol above? Y'all see
Mm-hmm.
the star, the star person above,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with a star can be seen in the records of ancient cultures residing in various regions of what? South America. Not in the East.
Yes.
They laughing at this.
Yes.
They laughing
Yes.
at this in the East now, see?
Yeah, so sad.
As well as Australia. It represents how the sun, S-U-N or S-O-N, and its flight, meaning east to west, is
Mm-hmm.
powered by a collecting charge. An example of this is shown by placing the Butterfly Nebula M29 with its visible glow discharge alongside the winged sun. And here's the winged sun. Is that one of our symbols?
Wow. Yes.
The electric nature of birds and their anatomy explain the founding principle of electrical stars. I'm going to let that sink in for a while. This concept is explained in further detail by Horace.
Or hey, dude.
Or Heru. These are the symbol. This represents the plasma sieve photosphere. This represents a wave or current. This represents the
Mm-hmm.
connection. This represents ether or ether. This represents the operation of a weak field to what? Support a strong electric field. All right? So,
Mm-hmm.
family, this is the science. And this goes right back into what we've been talking about in terms of the stars and our knowledge of the stars. And it leads directly into the Hopi prophecy and the fire clan. We're going to pick this up the next time we get on. So, giving you a lot of information. Family, it should not be complex or complicated. It falls directly in line and syncretizes to everything that we've been saying.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is the science of it.
Yes.
It is time for us to begin to talk about this stuff less and put it into practice more.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, I'm going to say wholeness and end this particular session. We'll pick it up the next time we get together.